What's going on, everybody? It is Tuesday, and we're talking about brand new video games once again. This week is kind of exciting because there's two big games coming out for all of us to play. Exciting! Yay! We've also got some ports and some expansions coming out, and four notable titles from 10, 20, 30, and 40 years ago that are all kind of good. So this week's one of this week's notable titles is a Mickey Mouse game. That's why I'm wearing my Disneyland sweater, because I'm one of those adults who goes to Disneyland. We're very cool. And speaking of which, I went there this past week with my daughter. Just me and my daughter going to Disneyland without my wife, and she was definitely cool with that. Very cool with that. Yeah, we went to Disneyland.
You guys suck.
Yeah, so, you see. Typical day at Disney. Got on the tram, picked up a map. We walked down Main Street. That was fun, you know. All the Disneyland stuff. And, rode some rides. Snow White, Pinocchio, Mr. Toad. Good stuff. The Finding Nemo ride, which I hate the line for, but it was not busy that day, so we got right on Finding Nemo. Really chill, cool day. Went on the Haunted Mansion, and that's when disaster struck. I dropped my phone. I dropped my phone in the ride, and kind of freaked out. Like, I could see it on the ride as we pulled away. You know, if you've ever been on the Haunted Mansion, it breaks down fairly often. Or I shouldn't say breaks down, it stops fairly often for whatever reason. Probably because idiots drop things in there all the time. And when that happened, I was just kind of filming, filming the ride. And the phone fell out of my hands and landed in the track. And kind of screwed up my whole day. I had planned to shoot all kinds of stuff at Disneyland and do this whole spiel I'm doing now was going to be at the park, where I was going to be talking about the games and somehow tying them in with rides. That all got thrown out the window. So luckily, it was funny. I'll probably show this footage, but when I dropped the phone, since it was recording, when they actually picked it up, it was still recording, and so you kind of like hear the worker shuffle in and pick up the phone and get it. And hey, it was only there for like 20 minutes, which was great, because they told me like, oh, we might not get it until the end of the day. You're just gonna have to come back when we close. And I'm like, I gotta pick up my wife from the airport. I can't just stay here until midnight. Like, that's not happening. So it took me about 5 hours to finally get the phone, when the Lost and Found people just suggested I go to the ride and ask them, which once I did, I felt so stupid, because they probably had my phone like immediately after I talked to them. So hey, there's new games coming out. What are they? Yeah, okay. Top game of the week is Dead Space, which is a remake of the old PS3 360 game. This time now on modern consoles. Woohoo! Modern consoles. They are, of course, the PC, the PlayStation 5, and the Xbox Series X and S. Let me consult my notes here. Next we have Forspoken, the new Square Enix third-person action-adventure that has really, really bad dialogue.
Okay, so let me get this straight. I'm somewhere that's not what I would call Earth. I'm seeing freaking dragons, and oh yeah, I'm talking to a cop! Did I just do that?
We did.
I just moved it with my freaking mind! Yeah, okay, that is something I do now. I do magic.
I don't know who wrote this or thought it would be a good idea for the character to talk like this. Like, she has this like magical cuff that she talks to, and she's like, I can do magic now. I move things with my mind. That's pretty fucking sick. Yeah. Fuck. Why? Who talks like that? Nobody talks like that. Sorry, this is not. I'm not trying to be like the angry YouTube video guy, but this game just looks bad, and the reviews are terrible. The reviews are already out, and they're terrible. Anyway, if you want to play Forspoken, you can get it on PC and PlayStation 5, where it's a console exclusive, and I'm sure Sony is so fucking happy right now that they have this piece of shit as a console exclusive. They must be over the moon at the awful Metacritic scores. Did I mention I went on the Finding Nemo ride? Here's some more footage of that. Next we have Neptunia, Sister versus Sister. Or Sisters versus Sisters, because it's plural. This is a JRPG where, if you're not familiar with the Neptunia franchise, it's like they took video game consoles and turned them into like sexy women. And in this one, the older consoles are, I guess, kidnapped or something, so the younger consoles have to come in and save them, which I think they're like, by younger, it's like they're like the handheld versions, so it's like there's like a Vita and an N-Gage and a Wonder Swan or something. I don't know. Old handheld consoles turned into, again, sexy anime girls. And they have to save their older sisters. Our one major port this week is Risen, which is coming out on PS4, Switch, and Xbox One. If you don't remember what Risen is, it's a third-person action game where you play as some kind of some guy. I don't know. I never played Risen. Did you guys play Risen? This is really long, by the way. Fuck me. It's coming out. Expansions: Mech Warrior 5 Mercenaries, Rise of Razzlehag. Mech Warrior seems cool. I didn't play it. Maybe you did. If you did, you're going to love it. It'll be on PC, PS4, PS5, Xbox One, and Series X and S. And our last expansion is for Stranger of Paradise, Final Fantasy Origin. It is called Different Future. And in this one, they introduce the Mog character, or Moogles in general. They show up finally to help Jack and his cohorts do stuff. Yeah. God, I'm really good at this. I'm all screwed up because of this phone thing. Anyway, I'm going to go, and there's going to be some more stuff for you to watch. Hopefully you stuck around. If you didn't, then you didn't. Yeah, it didn't matter. You didn't see this part. That's Mickey's Magical Quest playing on the screen. Okay. Bye.
Andy, look at me. Andy.
What?
How's it going?
Just doing my thing. Living, laughing, loving.
What are you doing here?
Just hanging out.
Tight. Yes, very tight. Say, you ever done anything, evil?
What?
Do you have any dark secrets?
Oh yeah, I got dark secrets.
Ooh, do tell.
I set fire to an El Torito's one time because they didn't give me, I asked for red sauce and they gave me green sauce.
My, Andy. That is a very dark secret. I bet people died. I'll tell you what. You bring me something very cool, and I will give you something that you want very, very much.
Then I can get whatever I want?
Yes, it's called a mutual transaction. What is it that you desire the most?
I want Mickey ears.
Then it will be done. But first, bring me something of great value to someone else.
I found somebody's Macy's credit card.
Oh, hell yeah. That'll work.
That'll work? Alright.
Yes, give it to me, now.
There you go.
Now that I have what I desire, you shall get what you desire. Enjoy the ears.
Oh, shit, there they are. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Definitely worth it. Definitely worth killing all those people in El Tritos for this.
Yes, I'm sure it was. Now, if you'll excuse me, I need to buy a sports coat by Michael Kors.
Hey, what do you want for dinner?
Nothing.
You want nothing for dinner?
Melon.
You want melons for dinner?
Yes.
Okay.
This week's notable title from 30 years ago is the Super Nintendo game The Magical Quest starring Mickey Mouse. This is the first game in a series of 3. 2 came out in the United States and 1 came out in Japan, although the third one did eventually come to the US on the Game Boy Advance sometime in the early 2000s. This game is really difficult. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. Like, it's a hard game. I don't know how they expected children to beat this game, especially since you only get 2 lives to do any of this. Now, I had a Game Genie code that I used to get unlimited lives, which is the only way I was able to get through any of this game, really. So here I am at the first mini-boss, and let's just see how many times I die. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, and I think this is where I beat him. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, I only had to jump on his head like 15 times. Not an unreasonable amount, right? And then you walk into Pete's mouth. Here I am at the first level's main boss. It's a big old snake, and I died 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and this one I thought I died, but actually I beat him, and Pete's soul came out. The main gimmick of this game is that Mickey dresses up in 3 different costumes. One is a magical turban that allows him to shoot magic out of his hands. There's a firefighter outfit that Mickey finds in the 3rd level, which lets him spray water streams at enemies, and he can put out fires and push blocks and form icicles. And then finally, the 3rd costume is given to him by Goofy in the 4th level, which allows Mickey to climb mountains in his mountain climbing gear, like we all know Mickey to do, I guess. I didn't get to see the firefighter or mountain climber costumes because I just died again and again. I could not get past parts of this game. I just couldn't. And I have no idea how they expected children to be able to do this. It's so difficult. This is where I finally gave up. This is the, I guess you would call it the 2nd level, the first part of the 2nd level, 2-1 or whatever you want to call it. And you have to jump on these stupid leaves to get across a pit, but they float in this weird pattern. So, oh well, game over. That's Mickey's Magical Quest.
What do we got going on here? You see the hat? Can you see the hat? All right, got a hat. Thanks, Cave. Okay. So our notable title from 40 years ago this week is the arcade game Time Pilot. A flight, I wouldn't call it a simulator. It's a shoot 'em up, but not like your standard horizontal or vertical one. You're kind of, it's like a 360 shooter. You fly this jet around different time periods, so starting from like World War I all the way up to like the future in the 1990s or whatever it was, and your ship, you kind of spin around in a circle and shoot the planes that are all around you. Yeah, that's Time Pilot. It's great. The developer of the game, the guy who made it at Konami, he told his boss, hey, I want to make this game called Time Pilot. And the boss was like, no, that sounds stupid. Make a racing game. That's going to make us money. So he's like, okay. So he instead went to some guy, a programmer, and said, hey, program this game for me. The boss wants this game, this Time Pilot game. So go ahead and make that. But don't tell anybody. It's kind of a secret. And so this other guy programmed it while the guy who wanted to make it sat at his desk and was pretending to program a racing game so that his boss would think that's what he was actually doing. So yeah, that's a cool story. That's really all I got to say about Time Pilot. I love it. It's one of my favorite arcade games and my favorite video games ever made. If you haven't played it, check it out. You can get it in various collections, Konami collections, arcade collections. It's a good game. I think you can get it on Switch through the Arcade Archives brand, whatever you call that. Anyway, there used to be an arcade here at Disneyland called Starcade. Time Pilot was a well-known game, so I bet they had a Time Pilot cabinet here. I'm gonna guess. This is Tomorrowland. It's about the future. A video game about a time-traveling pilot. I think they'd have that here. Anyways, I'm gonna drink my glowing goo. Bye.